Welcome back to Hopkins at 50. At the age of 17, Bernard was sentenced to 18 years in Graterford Prison for 9 felonies. He was incarcerated for 56 months and was released in 1988. What was it about prison that allowed you to help turn your life around?
I think it was more or less the position that I was at and where I was doing at the time gave me a reflection on life, gave me really a reflection on freedom. What turned it around for me was just the right timing to listen to a person I respect named Smokey Wilson out of Graterford, who still resides there now since 1978, 79. This is 2015. A lot of people deserve a lot of credit for why I'm in here, whether they in or out of Graterford. They said something to me that others couldn't get through, and I listened. My goal was, how can I prove people wrong to never be called Y4145, which was my number. I was determined this time to not go back, only to speak, to motivate, which I've done many times, many years. That was something that was important to me because I could never shake those bad habits and eventually accomplish it. And thank God, Neil, I did.
Well, in 2012, Bernard was sent some rare video of him boxing in prison, and our John Borick had that story at the time.
History reminds us that we can learn from our mistakes. Recently, that lesson came Bernard's way in the form of a DVD.
Different life, man.
Lost images, never seen until now, from a time well before the money, the belts, and almost 5 years at Graterford Prison.
I wasn't even champion. The next. I survived. I survived. I wasn't a hunter anymore, but I wasn't the prey, but I survived. My boxing in prison made Bernard Hopkins respected the same way that I got respect in the city.
What's that like, seeing video of you boxing in prison?
Right now, chills. And because it goes back to everything that I stood for, and I say even today. A lot of people's dreams and hopes was riding on me that would never be in my position, that never would be free again. They was living through me without me even knowing it until later. And so when I see old footage, to me, it's reflecting and looking back and saying, man, boy, do time fly. But I made the best out of a small ball of clay that started off with rough edges. And somehow I molded into become somebody that I hope that will inspire others. My memory is great and it's good because I always want to remember the past, even the dark times, to keep me in line of reality where I've came from. I'm not stuck by no means back there. It's just a reminder to remind me of any second or minute or hour or month or year that I believe that these things ain't a foundation that build who I became, the man in me, the people in me, and the respect that I have from the way I think and where I've came from, to me is important way after boxing is over.
After being released from prison at the age of 23, Bernard turned professional, and he lost his first pro fight to Clinton Mitchell. That was on October 11th, 1988 in Atlantic City.
Yeah.
How discouraged were you after that fight?
I was discouraged so much. I think, matter of fact, I know 89, 90, I was inactive. I was
16 months.
Yes, that was a real turning point for me. You come out with all these hopes and all this drive of being who everybody in the institution watch you box and watch you spar. And you got these dreams of leaving and never coming back and becoming a champion. That was the turning point of proving people wrong. As weeks and months went by, ran into a person that played a big role in my life, Bowie Fisher. He inspired and talked to me and convinced me, you come to the gym and I will be here. And from that conversation, Bowie Fisher and I built a legacy together. 12 years, 20 plus something fights, and now become champion. Resistancy. I was very, very, very determined to not take that 17-month break again.
Well, you haven't taken a break since then. But I'll tell you what, the bigger the fight, the bigger the stage, Bernard would be at his best, intimidating his opponent, whether it was grabbing a Puerto Rican flag from Felix Trinidad or a verbal attack on Oscar De La Hoya.
I'm the Black Rocky of Philadelphia. Think about it. I fit in the movie. Who's the hungry man? You give me a rich fighter and a hungry fighter, I'm going with the hungry fighter. I don't care what his talent is. And if his talent is like mine, dead man walking. If anyone out there really believes that Trinidad can beat Bernard Hopkins, then bet your green card.
So there you went off running in Puerto Rico, throwing down that flag.
If I didn't run, I wouldn't be here. I would be Carl Lewis if he was on the track. And he's one of the great runners.
So that moment was, that stands out to you as far as what you did in a pre-fight press
It stands out in the top things that I've done. I mean, this is arguably top 3 because the pressure, the hype. I mean, this is Felix Trinidad, undefeated. By any means necessary, came through my head, the thought to grab the attention and to make it so profound that it would be embedded in their history for years.
It's embedded in history for years. Just look at the video and you can see that it set up a whole wide controversy. But you got a lot of attention, but more importantly, you won the fight.
More importantly, I won a fight, and I had to apologize to every Puerto Rican friend
Yes, you did.
that I know back in Philadelphia.
Well, from 1993 to 2005, Bernard held a piece of the World Middleweight Championship, which included 20 successful title defenses. Perhaps one of the most underrated qualities of Bernard, the boxer, is his incredible preparation outside the ring, as I learned in 2004 when he was preparing to face Oscar De La Hoya.
His body's leaning, his weight is leaning on that left foot, not his right. He keeping the right foot in the bucket. But if he do this, James, he do this, Andre, bop, he'll run right into it. Be careful, work your jab. Every time he throw 2 punches, De La Hoya, you gotta throw 6. Let him throw 1 hook, throw 8. Throw 2, throw 5. And get the hell out of there.
That's truthful right there. You know, video doesn't lie, does it? Oh, it
Listen,
doesn't lie.
it's you.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
But how much do you rely on it?
On 99% of it. I mean, far as knowing what I got to face, and the rest of it is preparation.
But it was all back to, you knew when you watched it, you go, whoa, I know I can beat this guy.
Yeah, yeah. Look, it hasn't changed even to today. When I go in there to fight, I know I can beat every guy that I sign up to fight. It's their job to change my mind. I understand that the more I say I'm gonna do things, the harder I gotta work, because I don't wanna embarrass myself right? I don't want to be wrong. Not in that ring, right? So I know that when I say these things, my track record, even in failures, my track record speaks that I live up to what I say more than I don't.
Well, when we return, and you're going to hear Bernard in his own words, what it takes to be a champion for so many years as we go into the gym with the champ.